Hello, beautiful beings. In today's reading, we're going to be asking the question, what does your soul want you to heal in terms of your romantic relationships? What does your soul want you to heal in terms of romantic relationships? So we've got 4 piles or 4 groups today. Starting on the left, we've got group 1 with a card. Starting and then in the middle, group 2 with a little heart, the red heart. Group 3 is the pine cone. And then group 4 is this pink heart sticker. Now take a deep breath in, exhale, perhaps pause the video and pick your pile, and I'll see you in your reading. Hello, group 1. So you're the only one that picked a card. And what I'd like to say is, if you haven't yet, remember to like and subscribe and hit that notification button. And if you'd like a personal reading with me, please do check for my email in the description box. And I'd really appreciate your support for this channel. I'd really love to grow it. Here on the Priestess Sophia, our main goal is for you to develop your intuition and your own discernment. And the best way I've learned how to do that is by feeling into other readers, other tarot readers, but also learning how to do that in my reality all the time. Okay, so if we flip this card over, we're looking at, what do you most need to heal romantically? What does your soul most want you to heal? And we've got here, gift of freedom. Break away from your attachments. So the first thing that's just coming through for me, so I'm just going to bring this card up a little bit so you can see it, is the first thing that's coming through for me is that people in this group, the first thing I heard was fear. And what's important for you, group 1, is to start learning how to let go of what you're holding on to because you're afraid of A, of being alone. So you're staying attached to something. And B, because you're afraid of the unknown and afraid of what's going to happen if you are alone, or if you don't meet the right person, or if things just don't pan out the way that your mind wants it to pan out, and that you actually just allow yourself to be all of who you are without knowing the outcome of what that is. Because that really is what freedom is. A lot of people don't realize that when we talk about freedom, we're actually talking about a lot of responsibility, because to really be free means that you are not bound to an outcome, not bound to a way of necessarily doing things, but that you really do live in the moment. And that does require a lot of responsibility. So I feel like not only is your soul asking you to just let go of any attachments, but to really step in to your own personal power. And that's probably going to help you a lot romantically. If we look at the card, we've got a lot of orange and yellow and green. So for you, what I think most probably stands out, for me, the orange is standing out quite a bit. It's popping when I see it, is maybe to do healing on the sacral. So that's the inner child. It's also the creativity center and the sexual center. So how do you express yourself in terms of your sexuality? What makes you feel beautiful? What sort of inner childhood dreams do you have? Inner child dreams do you have? How does your inner child want to play? And just by looking at that, I think you're going to do a lot of healing. Okay, so let's just put that card over here. And let's see what the tarot has to say. Okay, so group 1, what does your soul most want you to heal when it comes to romantic relationships? Now, the interesting thing in group 1 is that a lot of the time our relationships are already serving as a mirror for us to actually see where we need to heal. But sometimes we get so focused on the other person, like, is my ex going to come back? When is he going to contact me? How does he feel about me? It's all about your person rather than you, right? So in this reading, we're focusing completely on you and like, what do you need to feel? What is going to make you feel a lot more whole and loved in your romantic relationships? Okay, so what does group 1 need to heal? Okay, so firstly we've got 10 of Wands. Okay, we've got the Emperor, upright or reversed? Upright. Okay, we've got, what else do we have? What else do we have? Group 1. Ooh, okay. So we've got 8 of Swords. So pile 1, group 1, when I look at these cards, I feel like there's a lot of control, need to control, a lot of needing to ensure things go a particular way. And we spoke a lot about this first opening card, speaks about attachments. And what I'm feeling here is that there's a lot of burdens in terms of what I'm understanding is perfectionism, possibly stemming from an authority figure, definitely and very likely male, right? Like a father figure, a grandfather. For what I was getting mostly was actually a grandfather. And it's actually maybe something that stems from the paternal bloodline that is now actually making its way in your bloodline. And it comes a lot in terms of self-expression too, and getting stuck in what is the right way to do something. And if I don't get the right way, what more can I do? How much more must I give? This 10 of Wands is what's showing me that. How much more must I put in? How much extra do I still need to do so that I can be loved? And what I'm also feeling is there's a lot of these experiences, like I've said, they're coming from the bloodline. They're sitting very much in the mind space. So they've become thought patterns, ways of thinking that have now really manifested in the way that you do things, in the way that you structure your reality, in the way that even the kind of romantic partners that you may attract. Either you attract very possessive romantic partners who are very particular about how things need to be done, or you attract partners who pretend to be that way, pretend to be able to manage and manage a space and manage a relationship and manage a whole lot of things in their life. But actually what's going on is that there's more of a need for control, and the control comes out of a space of fear and not allowing the self really to be free. So group 1, what I think is very important for you to start working on romantically is I would look at what kind of, and they talk a lot about this in the manifestation space, but I've come to realize also on a much deeper level how important those beliefs and those thoughts, so you get your beliefs and then the thoughts on top of that and then the behaviors that stem from that. But what those beliefs are is those seeds. What seeds have been planted within your own ancestral line that you've inherited, that have now become your own thinking patterns? That is what is keeping you stuck about what is right for you, about what you deserve, what what is out there for you, and that you have to keep yourself a specific way and tie yourself to a specific way of being and give more and do more before that romantic love that you'd like comes into your space. I feel like you're really being asked to let go of that group 1. Okay, so what else does the tarot have to say? Okay, so we've got 5 of Wands. Okay, what else do we have? What is group 1? So we've got Ace of Pentacles. What else does group 1 need to know? Okay, and then we've got King of Pentacles. So again, quite a lot of masculine energy coming in, right? So we've got the King of Pentacles with the Emperor here. So I really do feel that this does stem a lot from a father figure. If it's not from your dad, then it's definitely from your grandfather. And it could be from either side, but it's definitely some sort of paternal link that I feel is coming up here for you to heal group 1. it does definitely have to do with how you show up in the world. And I feel like currently, actually, what's going on for you is that there is a lot of internal struggle around, around this. I feel like when it comes to choosing partners for yourself, group one, there's been a lot of, um, it's as though you present yourself in a kind of way, and you show up in a specific kind of way, but underneath all of that, underneath all of the presentation and underneath all of the perfection, is a lot of inner conflict. And I almost feel like there's a part of me, like I'm actually seeing a little child, but it's even more than that. It's not just a little child, it's a dynamic, sparkly, bright individual that's actually feeling quite suppressed by the way this part of your personality shows up. And when I say this part of your personality, I'm speaking about that part of your personality that shows up in romantic relationships. And what I think would be really good for you to do, group one, is to write down what it is that you're actually looking for, not only from a partner, but what it is that your ideas on love is. Because I feel like it is very much like we spoke about earlier, thinking thought patterns, but what are your ideas about that? Because sometimes we go, I want someone who is, who's stable, someone who can be committed to me, someone who's got dark hair and green eyes. But we don't really look at what our ideas and beliefs and thoughts are around love itself. Do you believe, for example, group one, that finding love means that you're going to all of a sudden be stable, that you're going to be stable, and that you're never ever going to have to worry about anything in your life ever again? Do you believe that being in a relationship means that you can finally be yourself? Do you believe that being with someone is going to give you the safety and security to explore other avenues of your life? Because sometimes those ideas exist subconsciously, or even like consciously but hidden. So I really feel that that is very important, and I feel like your soul really wants you to explore that. So again, remember I spoke about the seeds earlier, and here we have the Ace of Pentacles looking very much like the seed. What was seeded by the paternal side in your family, from some sort of, either from the father or grandfather. What was taught to you? What was the example given to you? What were you taught about that, and how that looks in a romantic relationship? I also feel very much, group one, that you're being asked, again, we even see this idea of like examining the seeds, examining the seeds that's infiltrated your mind, the seeds that exist in your subconscious, that's causing you to make the decisions that you make, and have to work as hard as you do for love. I feel like also what's coming through very strongly, group one, is needing to look a little bit more at your own self-assuredness and being able to trust the self more. Trusting the self regardless, and this came with this card, with the Gift of Freedom card, trusting the self more in being able to create and bring forth what you need in your physical realm. So how that is coming across to me is, are you trusting yourself in what you can do financially, in what you can do in your career, in how you take care of your body? Because the King of Pentacles looks at long-term finances. He looks at what you want to bring forth and manifest in your life. So if we're looking at what you need to heal within your love relationships, so romantically, what's very important is to see, what's your inner stability, your inner trust, your inner, one of my friends likes to say, your inner authority, and for you to act on that and to be able to trust yourself to bring forth in the physical what it is that you need. And I don't want to use the word manifest, but it's also how you make your decisions, how you take care of yourself, where you put your priorities, because I feel what has traditionally happened for you, group one, is that you've often made decisions based on what you've been taught, specifically the example that you've gotten from a very strong example of thinking and way of being that you've inherited from a paternal bloodline, or being taught that. And I feel that you're really being asked to interrogate that. I'm going to take another pile. Let's look at these, another deck. So this is the Divine Guidance deck from Cheryl Lee Harnish. I really love this deck. It's really beautiful. She works with fractal images. Okay, so we've got the card of wisdom. So this card is the wisdom guide card. And what this card actually talks about is taking in new information and learning new skills. And I think this is very important because we spoke quite a bit about how do you perceive yourself? How do you perceive romantic relationships? What are your ideas about that? And I feel like your guides are coming through very strongly, wanting you to plant new seeds, to plant new ideas, to see things differently. And I think where you're going to get that most strongly, group one, is by looking at what your ideas are. And then what do you really believe? What feels authentic to you? Because that's going to help you seed what you want to seed in your mind and in reality, and bring forth the romantic partner that is going to be more stable, that is going to be committed, and that's not going to make you need to be reading pick a card readings about how they feel about you, right? Okay, I'm going to draw one more card just to see what else your soul would like you to... Oh, that pops out completely. And we've got the Dreamer. Isn't that lovely? Oh my word, this is so beautiful. This is the full card. So we've got a leap of faith, follow your dreams, unexpected opportunities. And what I'm feeling right now, group one, is I'm getting like a tingling across the back of my shoulders. And what I do feel, because you've got the wisdom guide here and you've got the Dreamer, so Archangel Metatron, what I'm also feeling very strongly is you really are being guided to something new in your reality, and being open to explore, being open to the newness that is being presented to you, to the newness that the universe wants to give you, and to just allow yourself the freedom to see things differently, and to not be as stuck in old ways of doing, in your strategy of doing things, in thinking that this is always how things need to be done in romantic relationships. Take that leap of faith, follow your dreams, and allow yourself to drop into the softness of the newness that is being presented to you. You don't have to hold on so tightly. All right, group one, it's been my absolute pleasure reading for you. That's what I've got for you in this reading today. And if you haven't yet, remember to like and subscribe. And if you'd like a personal reading from me where we can go a lot more in depth, where we can look more into which side of the family this would have been and what's coming in the future, how the energies would shift if you do follow through with these changes, then just check in the description box and you'll find my email there so you can book a personal reading with me. All right, pile one. All right, group one. Bye. I'll see you in the next reading. Hello to those of you that chose this cute little heart. The bell heart. So the question we're looking at is, what do you most need to heal? What does your soul want you to most heal now in your romantic relationships? And I feel that those of you who've chosen this pile are, or rather let's say this group, are more in the space of needing to listen to your heart more and trust the call of your heart, and be open to, I don't know if you can see these like little flowers on here, is to be open to what your heart is telling you and showing you, and allowing it to open up and blossom, and to step more into being and operating more from a heart consciousness. But let's see what the tarot says. That's just what's coming through first. So if you haven't yet, group 1, remember to just like this video and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. I'd love to grow this channel. And on the Priestess Sophia, remember, we're always about you developing and harnessing and growing and cultivating your own intuition as well. I do personal readings. You can check out the description box if you'd like a personal reading with me. But also for you to be able to assess whether when someone does a reading for you, does it resonate, you know? And you do that by listening to your body, seeing where things maybe are triggering or they're not triggering. Why are they triggering? Because sometimes something can be triggering and it is your intuition speaking to you, but maybe you have fears around it. Sometimes it's triggering because it's just hitting on something that needs to be healed. So I'm going to ask you to take a deep breath in and a slow exhale, group 2. And now let's ask, what does pile 2 need to heal in terms of the romantic relationship? What does the soul most want them to know? Okay, so we've just got a whole bunch that popped out. To start with, we've got death. Okay. We've got the 7 of Pentacles, and we've got... Okay, so the first thing when I saw the death card, and I'm just going to say, pile 2, I'm going to speak frankly with the messages that I see coming out here. So if it doesn't resonate, you are more than welcome to pick another pile. Choose one that does resonate. I'm pretty sure you've been drawn to this reading. There is a message here on this specific reading for you. Sometimes it doesn't come right in the beginning. Sometimes the messages come late on in the reading. So I'd encourage you to stick around unless you feel like this completely doesn't resonate. But what I am feeling is immediately when I saw the death card, I didn't see this as necessarily transformation. I saw it as people who've chosen this pile have actually lost someone that was very, very dear to them. And I feel that this could have actually happened when they were a child or a teenager. I'm feeling that it often actually has to relate to a mother figure. It can also be father. If it is a father figure, it's definitely a father figure who allowed the child to explore a little bit more of their sensitivity and to also explore more of their, very much even I want to say their childlikeness. So it feels like a very innocent energy, and the person that had passed allowed this innocence and fun and creativity to really spark through, especially if it was a male figure. If it was a mother, then it's not necessarily that. And what I do feel is that person dying and passing has left some sort of I don't even want to say some sort of, but it's definitely an abandonment wound. And I feel like the people who have chosen this pile, maybe you have processed the passing of this person, but what has not been processed is the result of that. And what your soul really wants you to look at is, where do you feel like you've been left out in the cold? Where do you feel like you've actually been abandoned? I feel like this person has been left to wait and often wonder about what's going to happen in my love life. I don't feel like this person, anyone who's chosen this pile, I don't feel like you've been in many romantic relationships. I feel like you've been in a few, and when I say a few, it's definitely not more than 3. Well, it also depends on how old you are, right? And how, but I don't feel like you're the type of person, pile 2, that moves from relationship to relationship. And I do feel that you take your time when you move from relationship to relationship. And I think it takes time for you to get over someone when it does end. And there's nothing wrong with that. But what your soul really wants you to look at is, where are you feeling abandoned? Because what I feel is not necessarily being acknowledged is this kind of sense of loneliness, this kind of sense of I'm always left alone, this kind of sense of why am I always out in the cold? Why am I out here looking for someone? Why? And those might not even, those phrases might resonate with you, but they also might not resonate with you. But what I really want you to ask, if you're feeling with when I said what I said, and if you're looking at this Five of Pentacles here, and as I am speaking, what kind of feeling is coming up for you, group 2? What kind of feeling is coming up for you? And it's that kind of feeling that needs to be acknowledged. This feeling of being abandoned, of being alone, of not being chosen, or of being chosen and then being left to have to deal and face life on your own. I do feel for some reason this priest here in the death card and the sun in the back is really standing out for me. And I actually feel as well, because even if Five of Pentacles, we see the light in the church, is that the people who've chosen this pile also have a very strong spirituality and are being very strongly divinely guided. And I feel if you're being called to go to church or spend more time there, that is good. If you're being called to explore your spirituality deeper, or your connection to God, source, the beloved, the goddess, whichever term resonates with you, I do feel that that is going to help you process whatever abandonment wound you haven't yet completely processed. But I also feel that the warning should be to not pile to, I keep saying pile when I mean group because there weren't any piles, but you know what I'm talking about, is to not let your spirituality take away the healing that needs to happen on a sort of personal level. And I think a lot of people do tend to forget that sometimes we do need to process our emotions. Sometimes we do need to cry. Sometimes we do need to go speak to a counselor. Sometimes we do need to grieve more. And those things are all fine, even if it's happened years and years ago. So don't explore what and follow the calls of your spirit and your soul and what God is bringing forth in your life. But also don't be afraid to do the other work that also comes with healing, right? Such as seeing a counselor, such as seeing a healer, such as journaling, the kind of, I almost want to say, practical aspect of that. Okay, so what else does group 2 need to know about what they need to heal, that their soul wants them to heal romantically? Okay, let's see what else is coming. It's quite a specific message that came through. I also feel like this pile specifically, because the blue is standing out quite a bit, it's the throat chakra and the sacral. So those two are paired. Okay, so here we've got the devil that's coming up. We've got the Knight of Wands, upright to reversed, upright. And we've got, okay, let's get both these cards. And we've got the Queen of Cups and the Ace of Swords. So, okay, let's just feel what else. I feel like some of you may have, so what I'm seeing is and this may be a pattern for you, group 2, is to choose people who come into your life quickly with a lot of passion, fiery, fun and exciting, and then leave. There could also be a tendency, group 2, to drown your feelings in sexual relations, because what I saw here was I saw the orange of the sacral standing out quite a bit and the throat, and those two chakras are paired. And sometimes an overactive sacral, because even here, if I'm seeing all of the orange here and all of the orange here, if an overactive sacral, often people can, to escape, either get involved in drugs, alcohol, or sex, right? Have a lot of anonymous or empty sex, or be drawn very sexually attracted to partners who are very passionate, come in and leave. Don't stay around for long enough. And when I saw the Queen of Cups here and Ace of Swords, Queen of Cups is all about being honest, about being very generous with how you feel, and being very compassionate to others, and very compassionate also towards yourself. And the Queen of Cups has mastered self-compassion and mastered nurturing qualities and how to nurture her inner emotional world. And she's also very intuitive, right? But she's intuitive because she also pays attention to her emotional needs and her emotional world. And if we see all this blue here, and we've got Ace of Swords as well, we're talking about, and also being able to express that. So what I do think is a very important advice for you, group 2, is to start speaking how you feel more openly and honestly, and start with yourself first. And that is really going to help heal your romantic relationships. I don't feel like there's enough acknowledgement of how you really feel and the truth of how you feel. And I feel like a lot of the time what tends to happen is either you drown yourself in sort of maybe addictive kind of behavior, whether that is choosing a pattern of being with kind of player kind of guys, or even yourself maybe suppressing how you feel through your sexual interactions. And this doesn't have to be a bad thing. It can also be just in terms of how you engage when it comes to being sexually intimate with someone. And that's coming through very particularly and very strongly, group 2. So if that does resonate, please do take note of that and feel in your body how that feels. So very important for you to start expressing more how you feel. I feel like it would really help you to name your feelings, pile 2. Okay, let's see what the Cheryl Lee Harnish deck says. This is a fractal image deck. I love Cheryl Lee Harnish's decks. Very original. Okay, so I don't want 3. Okay, what does group 2 need to know more about what they need to feel, okay, in their romantic relationships? And we got 32, and this is the nectar of life with a B. So what this card speaks about specifically, so if you just want to have a look at it, so there's a bee. I don't know if you can really see it. And then we've got honey at the bottom. Is really about enjoying life and allowing yourself the sweetness of life. So there's a lot of things that I've spoken about here, what you need to heal. But what I feel like is coming through with this card too is when last have you done something that feels sweet to you, sweet and nourishing to you? We just spoke about talking about your truth and being able to, and she's nurturing and nurtures herself and nurtures her emotions. But when last have you done something that's sweet, something that makes you feel good about yourself, right? Okay, any last messages? Okay, so I'm just being guided to use this deck. Any last messages for group 2 about what they need to heal in the romantic? Okay, we've got this card coming through. Let's see what this is. Oh wow, look at that, solar plexus chakra. Very, very interesting. So we were talking a lot about the sacral, but look how the solar plexus is coming through. And quite interesting because we see here, we see the lots of orange, and then we see also the yellow coming through here. So what your solar plexus is about is a lot about how you show your ego, and your personality and your identity and your self-will. So I feel like there may be some anxiety that goes on here because that often sits in the solar plexus. But what would be important for you and what would really help your healing, what's coming through, is so not just only obviously looking at the sacral, but also looking at the solar plexus particularly, and by finding by being able to express your truth, how you feel a little bit more, and naming how you feel more, you're going to be allowing yourself to step more into your true identity and who you really are and what really matters for you in a relationship. And also by being able to explore the sweetness of your life on a deeper level, you're going to be doing a lot of healing in your romantic relationships. I actually want to just draw a clarifier on this. Okay, cards popping out. Shall we go with that? We've got teach. Okay, so here we go. So we've got the Hierophant there as well, which is quite interesting because right in the beginning of the reading, we spoke a lot about spirituality, right? And those who are feeling called to go to church. And we've got this yellow here in the back. So what I would say is, Group 2 is what are you being called to teach yourself? And this can be other people, but what I'm feeling is that there's something that you're teaching yourself at the moment. Something that you are teaching even your higher self, or that your soul is teaching you. And I think the more you can speak your emotions and speak your truth, the more I think you're going to be able to see how beautiful this yellow here and this yellow here. The more you're going to be able to step into more of who you are and more into who your true identity is. And that's going to help you a lot in your romantic relationships. And when I put these three together, and I'm seeing this healing of the sacral and the enjoying life. We've got a 32 here, and we've got a 3 here and a 5. So this adds up to 5, and we've got a 3 and we've got a 5 here. So 3, 2, and 5 may be important numbers for you. But what I'm really feeling particularly is that by doing that, there's going to be a lot of abundance and a lot of change that's going to come into your reality. So 3 usually speaks about, and when we're talking about teach and we're talking about the Hierophant is often spiritual lessons, 3 is usually the one, and then you, and then the 3 is the lesson, is the gift, right? So where can you find the gift in what has happened in your previous relationships? There may have been some shady behavior going on, or some addictive behavior, or being drawn to partners who can't really commit because of their own addictions, or because of their own patterns of behavior, because of their own being stuck in their ego. Because look, solar plexus and the ego, the devil speaks of the ego, and solar plexus also speaks of the ego. So, this is getting deeper. So what I'm feeling here also, Group 2, what's important for you is to also start examining where are you maybe attached to your identity. So if I'm looking at this now, it seems like what's being called for you on a deeper level is to maybe let go of not just the abandonment wounds, but the identity that you've created from that space, and allow yourself your new truth. And to speak, the more you're going to speak your feelings, the more you're going to step into the sweetness of your life, the more you're going to be able to create an identity that is more in alignment with who you are, and also your spiritual beliefs. I also feel what's very important for this pile, while I'm actually even looking at the Hierophant now, is that maybe in the past you've also had conflict with people, or not conflict, but not been hiding what you believe spiritually for the sake of your partners. Because remember, this priest and the church here stood out, and they came up a bit later, like earlier in the reading, but like as the reading progressed. But now this is coming up, the Hierophant's coming up here. It's just reminding me and kind of leading me to and feel that this might be very important for you, pile 2, your beliefs in terms of your relationships. Because a lot of the time, and specifically spiritual beliefs, people end up with partners that maybe they tick all the sorts of boxes, but maybe there's something that really matters to you that you're actually not acknowledging. And what I'm feeling here is that it could very much be your spiritual beliefs. And if that's actually the most important thing for you for you, then it's going to be one of the most important things for you in your relationships. And it might serve you very well. Actually, it will definitely serve you well, pile 2, to find a partner whose spiritual beliefs resonate a little bit more with you. All right, so that seems to be what your soul wants you to heal in your romantic relationships. Group 2, please let me know in the comment section how this resonated, which message particularly resonated for you. And if you'd like a personal reading, please do check out the description box. And I'll see you in the next video, pile 2. Bye. Oh, hello, pile, or rather group 3. So if you chose this beautiful pine cone, if you chose this beautiful pine cone, do have a look at how lovely it is. It is so gorgeous. And this reading is for you. So when I'm just looking at this pine cone, the channeled messages that's coming through is that I feel like these are very, very delicate souls. Delicate but resilient souls who've chosen group 3. And I feel that I wanted to say, like a pine cone's really festive, but I feel that there's a lot of joy in your soul too. And I feel, group 3, that things are going, ooh, wow, that literally fell out of my hands, and I was literally about to say, things are going to change for you very soon in your love life. But let's see what your soul wants you to heal in your romantic love life. If you haven't yet, group 3, please remember to like and subscribe. I'd love to grow this channel. Here at the Priestess Sophia, we're all about you learning how to use your intuition better. So note when you're being triggered. Ask yourself why you're being triggered. If something doesn't resonate, you don't have to make it resonate. You'll know when it resonates. But pay attention to your body. Pay attention to the clues that your body's giving you. You'll know. Pay attention when they're strong. Pay attention when they're subtle. So what I'd like you to do now is take a deep breath in and a slow exhale. And let's see. What does group 3 need to heal in their romantic relationships? So what does group 3 need to heal in their romantic relationships? Okay, this card's coming out, so we're going to go with that 8 of Fire. Okay, what does group 3 need to heal in their romantic relationships? Okay, so we've got Knight of Water. Okay, what does group 3 need to heal in their romantic relationships? What is group 3? Okay, and then we've got 7 of Air. Okay. I feel like you're exceptionally romantic. Those of you who chose pile 3, wow, group 3, you're exceptionally romantic and very, very, very emotional. And that's where I felt the delicate nature. Very resilient, but lots of feelings. I also feel like the empaths and the HSPs chose this pile. So what I'm feeling that needs to be healed, the first thing is you got 8 of Fire. So you fall in love exceptionally quickly. And what tends to happen is you meet someone because you're so romantic, because you really want love, and you tend to rush into a relationship, pile 3, and without necessarily taking enough time, because we've got here with this card with the 7 of Air, plans that need revision, more going on than meets the eye, poor timing. And we've got over here with this card, falling in love or wedding proposals, the need to balance emotions, okay? And here we've got events moving at a fast pace, delays are over, many things happening at once. So in the center of these three cards, we've got the Knight of Water, and then punctuating either, we've got both cards speaking towards time. So here, things happening too fast, and here, poor timing. So what I'm sensing is you fall in love very quickly. You meet someone, you want to give them your heart, you're very open, you feel a lot of emotions, and I think sometimes you're feeling emotions that aren't even your own. So maybe what tends to happen is you feel your emotions, you feel the person's emotions as they're falling in love, and then there's a lot of that spark in the beginning, and you rush into the relationship instead of taking the time to actually go, does this feel right for me? Okay, that was an amazing first date. Okay, that was an amazing third date. Okay, that was an amazing fifth date, but I don't have to give my heart just yet. So this is about boundaries, I'm feeling, and just taking, I don't think you have poor boundaries, but I think when it comes to intimate romantic relationships, there's a rushing in that almost like then no boundaries exist, right? And not really looking at whether it's the right thing. And I think this tendency of yours has also meant that you've attracted a lot of people who say a lot of things. They say a lot of things. They say a lot of things, but it's not backed by you see, we've got Wands energy, or we've got Cups energy, and then we've got Air energy. And this is traditionally the Seven of Air, is this Seven of Swords. So they say a lot of things. They come in with a communication. They come in hot, and they tell you they love you. They tell you you mean the world to them. They tell you that they want to do everything to make things right. They tell you that they've never felt this way about anyone else. But there's no Pentacles energy. It's not being backed up by action. It's not being backed up by consistency. And where your soul is wanting you to look is your tendency to rush into relationships, group 3. Your tendency to not allow things to just rest a little bit. So we started off with 8 of Fire, which means rushing in, like moving fast, things happening at a fast pace. You're really just being asked to take the time that every time you meet someone, give yourself a little bit of time to assess the situation and assess how you really feel, and assess which feelings are yours and which feelings are someone else's, and not get sucked in with the romance or sucked in with the passion. Because I do feel that there's a very that tends to happen with you quite a bit. Group 3. Okay, let's see what else your soul wants you to heal when it comes to your romantic relationships. What else does your soul want you to heal when it comes to romantic relationships, group 3? What else does your soul want you to heal when it comes to romantic relationships? What else does it... Okay, I feel like I'm going to take this card. So we've got the Star, upright or reversed, upright. Okay, and we've got the Page of Fire. And then I want to take this, the Empress. Okay. Okay, so the Star, we've got happy times, make positive, optimistic, long-term plans. So that's how this card looks. And then the Page of Fire we've got over here, which is news of an exciting new endeavor. Okay. And then the Empress over here. Okay. So lavish abundance, give birth to your dreams, nurture yourself and others. So what's really popping out for me, because while I was shuffling the cards, I was busy thinking I'm feeling like a childhood wound, is going to come up. And what I'm seeing here with the Page of Fire and the Empress is I am really seeing very much that you might have had quite a fiery mom, and a mom who yeah, very fiery, passionate, very creative sort of mother. But it's almost as though your mom didn't necessarily completely give you this sort of safety. I feel like a safety in terms of feeling, like a cocoon in terms of feeling. I feel like your mom may have been very busy with her career, or very busy with the life that she was creating for herself, or wanting to create for herself. And as a child, and I don't think this was necessarily deliberate. I think it was actually happening very unconsciously from your mom's perspective. This is what I'm sensing for you, group 3, is that she may have really just neglected what you as this more sensitive person was actually feeling. And that has led you to not really, for yourself, pay attention to how you feel. And just kind of go with you. So it's not what is mine and how do I really feel, or do I just get like flung up in all of everything that I'm feeling and then just dive into a relationship. I'm feeling what tends to happen with you, group 3, is also to want to end up and like lock in that relationship quite quickly and get into it quite quickly, so that you don't necessarily have to be alone and feel that cocoonness of aloneness. And I feel particularly around feeling your inner child. And I feel like what your soul wants you to do is realize that you are the star. You need to honor your inner child to allow more long-lasting love and sort of make a long-term commitment with your inner child to bring forth the kind of love that you'd want in your romantic relationships. And this is whether you're in a relationship or not. It feels like your individuality and your sensitivity, maybe you feel like you're a starseed, maybe you feel like you're a healer, but that needs to really be nurtured by honoring your own, by honoring your inner child, and really by honoring your creativity. And I feel that by maybe taking on more creative endeavors is going to allow you to feel more confident in yourself and in your ability to nurture yourself. Because I feel like this pile is particularly creative themselves anyway, but there's sort of like a denial around the creativity, because we've got 8 of fire and we've got page of fire, but then we've got 7 of air here, and then under that the empress. So it's like not trusting your own creativity and your self-expression to actually bring forth not just what you want in your in your romantic relationships, but also in life in general. And I think the more you heal and commit to your creativity and commit to your inner child and commit to the dreams of your inner child and the feelings of your inner child and heal that, the more you are going to give yourself the nurturing that you maybe didn't get when you were little. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to draw from this pile. Let's have just an oracle card come through. So what does group 3 need to know around what they need? Their soul wants them to heal in their romantic relationships. Okay, so what do we have? Okay, so we've got this card coming out. We've got spread your wings. And this is 2 of Wands. And it's interesting because we were just talking about creativity, and what I'm really seeing here is this woman really just allowing herself to be open to what creatively wants to spring from her. Because your creativity is also your if you think about creation energy, we think about God energy. And if I'm looking here, we've got the orange here, which represents the sacral, but also the divine. And to allow that creativity to heal you, to open you up, and to surrender to it, and to welcome it in your space. Because I feel like doing that is going to heal your relationship with your inner child, but really your relationship with yourself, and how you feel about yourself. And it's usually our inner child that wants the most nurturing, right? And if you do have the tendency, group 3, to rush into romantic relationships because we're avoiding what the inner child feels and wants to feel, the best way to work with that is to just open yourself up to your creativity, open yourself up to what it is that you want to bring forth into reality, creatively, specifically. It doesn't have to always turn out to be something that you make money from. Is it just a passion project? The page of fire the page of wands can also speak about travel. So spreading your wings, because we've got the sense of wings here, we've got the open wings here, we've got open wings here. If you want to go and fly somewhere, so if you want to go and travel somewhere, if you've had a dream recently, even group 3, about wings, or someone has mentioned wings to you, wings could even be a sign for you relating to this, and your spirit guide speaking to you about this reading and about the healing that you need to do. So pay attention to wings, and specifically open wings is for you to allow yourself to travel where you need to travel, whether that is physically travel or journey within or journey with your creativity. Allow yourself to go on the journey. Don't worry that much about the destination. Okay, I'm going to draw one more card this is from Cheryl Lee Harnish's Divine Guidance deck. Wow, gorgeous. Look at this. This is so beautiful. This is the last card in the deck, and it's 44. It's expansion. And what's really gorgeous here, group 3, is we've got this beautiful sort of sun, almost like the white light energy, and we've got it here in the corner too. So really, we just spoke about wings. This talks about that you're here to help the planet expand, and whatever it is that you're doing is for the expansion of the planet. And we've got 44 there, so that's also very much the number of angel guidance. So what I do want you to remember is that your guides do come through very strongly for you and are really guiding you on this specific healing, group 3. So you can completely trust that. And what's really going to help you is to trust that you are expanding. And through connecting more with your creativity, you are going to expand in your relationships too. And even if you are in a romantic relationship, the more you can connect with that creativity in your inner child, it's going to help your relationships open up. It's going to free you in how you feel in your romantic relationships and what you can allow yourself to also receive. So group 3, that was an absolutely beautiful reading with such beautiful energy. How lovely it is to have been able to connect with you today, group 3. Thank you for letting me read your cards. Remember to subscribe and like this video. And if you'd like a personal reading, do check out my email in the description box. And otherwise, group 3, it's been an absolute honor in reading your cards today, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello, group 4. So if you chose this cute pink heart, look at the lovely color, then this is your reading. So I feel like this pile, one of your soul lessons is probably unconditional love. I'm just going to go outright and say it. Or you have a lot of pink in your aura, because this pink is usually the color of unconditional love. And if one of your soul lessons is unconditional love, then you've possibly been in either a very tricky relationship recently, or you've had several of them where it's possibly been quite painful. But even so, you've found yourself still very much able to love the person. And that's actually a beautiful soul quality. But it doesn't necessarily mean you need to end up with the person, right? So if you haven't yet, pile 4, please remember to like and subscribe. I would really love to grow the channel, and I do need your support. So please do that right now. And if you'd like a personal reading, please do check out the description box. And then for those of you who are interested, I also actually, in my description box, there's a gratitude journal of mine that I published, and also just a general journal, just a normal plain journal that you can also get in my description box. And here at the Priestess Sophia, our main purpose is for you to harness, develop, cultivate your intuition and your own discernment, right? So while I'm doing the readings, do pay attention to your body. Just pay attention to how you feel. Note those things. I mean, if you even feel like it, literally make literal notes about the reading and about insights that come through to you, because that's your intuition speaking to you. And I always recommend that my clients do that when they come to me. Take the messages I give you, but also what kind of messages are coming through you, because it's a frequency that we're working with, right? We're tapping in. So don't deny yourself that opportunity. Okay, so let's see what your soul wants you to heal most in your romantic relationships. Before, what does your soul want you to heal most in your romantic relationships? Powerful. What does your soul most want you to heal in your romantic relationships? Powerful. Let's see. Let's see what comes out. What does your soul most want you to heal in your romantic relationships? For those who chose powerful. Okay, so we got one. What does your soul most want you to heal in your romantic relationship? And then we've got that one and that one. Okay, so we're going to start off with 3. So we've got the Ace of Cups. Ooh, we've got the 2 of Cups, upright or reversed. Upright or reversed. Okay, and then the Fool. Oh, these are if this was a love reading, this would be an absolutely beautiful love reading. And we just spoke about unconditional love. So so the first thing that's coming, because we did speak about maybe having had past relationships where you ended up in tricky situations, or you just came out of that, and now you still love the person. But what I do feel is that because this came up reversed first, right? So this could be bullying, it could be abusive relationships, but I was told to put it upright, right? My guides advised me to do that. So what I'm feeling is what needs to be healed for you is your trust in relationships. Your trust that, because we've got the Ace of Cups here, and the Ace of Cups, if you could just look here, it's a hand from the universe. It's being gifted this like completely wondrous, new, beautiful feeling of love, right? And then we literally have the 2 of Cups, which is soulmate, right? And then the Fool is like literally about hopelessly falling in love. But it's also about, if we're talking about love, but it's also about trust and going with the flow and letting yourself be divinely guided and surrendering to the universe. And because we've got relationships here in the center, so the 2 of Cups in the center, being punctuated by the Ace of Cups and the Fool, what I do feel is actually very important in what's going on with you right now is that your trust in relationships, your ability to trust the universe to bring you the right relationship, to bring you the right partner, to bring you the person that is going to be your equal, the person who's going to understand you on a deep level, the person who's going to see eye to eye with you, the person who is going to match your energy, whose energy you're going to match. And I feel that is what your soul really wants you to heal. And I feel like at the same time, what's coming through group 4 is that you're going to be guided, you're going to be gifted a beautiful partnership, a beautiful love relationship. Look at this. And you can trust that it's going to feel like softness. It's going to feel like the gift, and your cup is going to run over. But you need to trust more in that. Look how beautiful this card is. Like, trust it. I mean, the sticker is trust in the unconditional. I'm just feeling love here. Trust in the love. Keep trusting in the love. Keep trusting in the love that is in your big heart, and trust the universe to bring that and provide that for you. Okay, let's see what else you need to know. Powerful group 4. What does your soul want you to heal in your romantic relationships? What does your soul want you to heal in your romantic relationship? Where is your soul? Okay, popped out. What is it? Okay, so cards are popping out. The cards are popping out. Popping out. Popping out. Popping out. Okay, so I don't know why I wanted to take that card first. Okay. Upright or reversed. Upright or reversed. Upright or reversed. Reversed. Upright or reversed. Upright. Okay. So I'm going to read this reversal here. I was guided to turn these to upright. So we've got the Seven of Cups, we've got the Five of Cups, and we've got the High Priestess. So I think this is really mirroring what was said before, which was several relationships, lots of kind of options, lots of options, being in relationships that were tricky, or that one relationship, the one that you chose, and it was disappointing. And now, kind of just maybe I almost feel like backing off a little bit, backing off from relationships. So I feel like that is just being confirmed, that is definitely what the issue, the underlying issue of that is, or what has caused maybe a lack of trust in relationships. But what I feel that you're really being guided to know and understand, Group 4, is that your intuition is going to lead you to the right partnership. You are being guided. We've literally got the Fool and the High Priestess here. And for me, it's to really, what I'm getting is to trust your instincts. So like your instincts and your intuition together. And to trust that flow. And don't get too hung up on past disappointments. And especially don't get hung up on people who couldn't make you a priority, who didn't choose you. There's a lot of emotions here too. So we've got Ace of Cups, Two of Cups, we've got Five of Cups, and we've got Seven of Cups. And I do just feel that there just needs to be a focus on more positive emotions, is what I want to say. Because over here, what's standing out for me is the cloud in the background of the Seven of Cups. And over here, we see this figure looking at the Three of Cups, but the Two of Cups are at the back. And funnily enough, here are the Two of Cups. So, so here's the Two of Cups and here's the Two of Cups. But this one is looking at the Three of Cups. So I do feel that what may have happened in the past is that maybe you were in a third-party situation. You will know if you've been in a third-party situation or if someone's cheated on you. And there may still be some sort of disappointment around that. But I feel like Spirit is asking you, please stop looking at that. Please stop paying attention to that. Please stop looking at the past where someone didn't actually, and I do feel like the person that you dealt with was quite a dark figure. And what I mean by dark figure is this person was dealing with their own darkness and projected that on you. And now you've taken some of that on. And I feel like you're really being asked to stop looking at that and to turn around and to trust more. Trust in the relationship that's going to come, and to listen more to what your intuition tells you about the connections and your relationships that you have with people. Because I feel, Group 4, that you may have gotten intuitive nudges before and not necessarily have listened to them, and rather get caught up in an old story around how you've felt before, and how you maybe not have been treated well before, and how you've not necessarily maybe even been a priority before. But being stuck on it's either the emotions that haven't been processed from that time, which I feel is more what it is. So it's the emotions around that story instead of listening to your intuition. So if you can process those feelings and you can clear them out of your space, clear them out of your energy, and listen more to your intuition, not just in romantic relationships, but with everything, but specifically what your intuition, because I feel your intuition is incredibly strong, and pay attention to that, you are going to be able to make better decisions in terms of your romantic connections. Your soul is speaking to you. Okay, let's see. I just want to get a clarifier on this Seven of Cups for some reason. Okay, so we've got strength, which is interesting. Strength and the 10 of Cups coming out as a clarifier for the 7 of Cups. So it's actually a very beautiful combination. But if we're looking at what we need to heal, I feel it's stay believing in yourself and stay believing in your worth and your deservingness of the most amazing love and your ultimate happiness. I feel that maybe because you may have had people not treat you as a priority, and this could have been even in your own childhood or like habitually in relationships, that you may have not prioritized yourself. And when I say prioritize yourself, I mean how you feel. Prioritize how you feel about something. And rather pay attention to what the people are saying around you. But you have the strength and the intuition, and you're being divinely guided towards a loving, long-lasting relationship. So just remember that. Don't get sucked into the confusion of other people. Because this 8 figure there, this on top of her head is really standing out for me, is that sometimes I think there may also be even a tendency for you, group 4, to get sucked into the confusion of other people. No, you're very strong. You're very in your power, actually, but it's just needing to remember that you can very much trust your intuition. You can trust the universe. Trust in love. Don't be afraid to keep trusting in love. Okay, I'm going to draw one more card from the Cheryl Lee Harnish deck. And then I think we're going to call it a day. I don't feel like there's much to say for you, pile 4. Let's see, what else does your soul want you to... Ooh, okay. It's a lot of cards. I'm not going to take all of them. But I just want one. Let's just do one. What does your soul want you to know? What does your soul want you to know? Okay, let's do that. 34. Ooh. Okay, so this card is still at the bottom of the deck, and we've got the pink here, and then funnily enough, we've got the pink here. So I'm just going to put them out, even though I said I wasn't going to read them. They're still there, and I felt guided. So very much a lot of pink in this aura. You might even be a healer yourself or have very strong healing, loving energy. Definitely supported by your guides, but also very much by those who've passed over. I think this card is the reflection card. So it really asks you to take time to reflect on things. And what we have here is we've got the 5. This card speaks about alignment and your internal world and your internal spiritual world reflecting in your reality. And this card is about your loved ones who have passed on, or your guides drawing in and bringing your loving energy to you. So when I look at this, and we looked at the 7 of Cups in reverse, I also saw the little kids, and I felt like there could have been not listening to how you felt as a kid, and that has led you to sort of not listen to how you feel now and deprioritize yourself. I do feel like you're coming out of that energy, but remember to process your emotions. I do think that what's important for you is to reflect on how far you've come. Reflect on who you've been and what you've let go of. Because as you can see here, we've got these crystalline sort of images, like crystal, and the images here, and that like washing away. I feel like water could be very useful for you too, as well, pile 4, in cleansing your emotions. Water is already very cleansing, but I think specifically even more so, I'm even seeing it here with the 8 of Cups. You do not have to rush is also what I'm feeling this card is trying to say. It's allowing yourself to just take some time to look at how everything has played out. Because when you can do that, you're getting more in touch with your internal world and how you feel internally, and clear out what needs to be cleared out internally. And then focus on what you really believe. Because I do believe, Pile 4, that you believe in love. You believe in the ultimate partner. You believe in being divinely guided. And I feel like on an intuitive level, you know that wholeheartedly. And your guides are there giving you signs. Your ancestors are there giving you signs. So what I feel is most important for you, Pile 4, is to just take that time to allow what you really know already intuitively to rise up. But you got to do it by stop paying attention to negative events, past hurts. Let that go. Let yourself feel what you need to feel. But remember, you got that 2 of Cups right here behind you, right here in front of you. And the universe is going to lead you there. So you can trust your intuition. Trust your intuition to take you there. All right. What you feel internally, powerful, what you feel internally is going to reflect in your reality. What you know spiritually is going to reflect in your reality. So just make sure you're not too busy getting stuck on past disappointments that you can't see them. You have the internal strength to bring forth this happy family that you want, this happy, loving, long-term relationship. Yes, beautiful, absolutely beautiful reading, Pile 4. So this is the end of your reading. If you haven't yet, remember to like and subscribe. Check out the description box for personal reading or my gratitude journal. It was my honor to read cards for you, Group 4. I wish you all the best. May you be eternally blessed. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.